that has been put on for the teens and everyone alike. We have a panel that is before us today. Let me kind of get out of the way and stand by them because they are our heroes for today that's going to be speaking to everyone in the room. My name is Miss LaQuanda. I'm with Lift Community Development Corporation, and I provide housing and life skills and all that good stuff, all of those different services that are useful for youth that are aging out of foster care. Let me just take the time right now, and we're gonna just allow the panel to introduce themselves. They're gonna just tell you a little bit about themselves, starting with maybe just their name. They'll tell you maybe what phase or stage they're at, because as you know, when you age out, there's EFC, there's PES, there's independent living, there's aftercare. There's so many different phases and stages that you can be in this process. And so they're going to tell us that. They may tell us a little bit about them, something that they may enjoy doing in their downtime. Right now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. Who want to go first?
I'll go first.
Alrighty, I am Ryan Milliman, turned 21 in March. As of right now, I'm in extended foster care, going more towards PES, having quite a few issues with SPC on its own, but I've got quite a few wonderful people here who are helping me out with that process.
My name is Noah Grega, and I recently just transitioned into PES from EFC. I am moving into an apartment on Sunday with my friends. And as mentioned before, a 1-bedroom would be very bad, around $2,000 a month. And since I'm going into a 3-bedroom, I'm only going to be paying around $800 or $900 a month, which is much more doable. PES is already going to cover that, plus my car insurance, phone bill, everything. So it'll be very nice.
Hi, my name's Australia. I'm 23. I just turned 23. I just came out of the PES program. And that's it.
My name's Ariana. I just turned 18 back in April and transitioned into the extended foster care program after being in foster care since I was 13, so for 5 years, in and out of different group homes. I finally found my stable placement. Then next, I want to transition to the PES.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, panel, for introducing yourself. Now, it's a little nerve-wracking being up here in front of all of you all, but we're going to try to make the best of it. How's the view? You're good? All right. I'm going to engage you all because I want to know a little bit about what you know and what you don't know, okay? So you've heard a lot from a lot of adults that have been speaking, all that good stuff, and so I'm talking to the youth at this point. Can you tell me, somebody just kind of wave your hand so that I can find you, and I'll maybe restate your question or what have you, but can you tell me, what do you know about EFC? Anybody, tell me something you know about EFC. What is EFC? Go ahead. She said, don't you have to have like your own place to stay? Okay. Someone else. We're going to come back and answer that. What is EFC? What is extended foster care? Go ahead.
So pretty much extended foster care is you'll go into an extended house pretty much sometimes by yourself.
Hang on. I'm not gonna be able to read all of that.
Okay. So pretty much in extended foster care, you're going to be in a house, and sometimes there's other teenagers / young adults there. Sometimes it's just you on your own. And pretty much what happens is you either have to be in school or going to work 80 hours a week, I believe. No, a month. Yeah, thank you. That would be a lot of work in 1 week. So that's pretty much what I know about it.
Thank you. Somebody else want to tell us what they know about extended foster care? What is EFC?
All I really know is if you're in a group home currently, you could do extended foster care there. You have to do 80 hours a week of working, or you have to go full-time school. And I believe you can go in and out of EFC up until you're about 23 years old.
So a lot of different answers as it relates to what extended foster care is. Now, who's the expert in here that knows what extended foster care is? Now I'm calling on my adults in the room. Who is it? Tell me about extended foster care. Who wants to take the mic and say it for me? Come on, adults, don't be afraid. All right, here we go.
I can just talk. So extended foster care is for our extended foster care is for our 18 to 21 age youth who are doing some type of qualifying event. So you're either doing the you're in school, enrolled into school, you're working the 80 hours a month, you're working towards your qualifying events, there's some kind of barrier or there's some kind of diagnosis that is happening for you to, that's a hindrance for you to be able to do one of those programs. In regards to housing, sometimes you are able to stay in your same housing, sometimes you may move to a different housing. Yeah, I think I answered everything.
Thank you so much. Can we give a round of applause for everyone that brought in some input as it relates to what extended foster care is? So let's talk about the reason why this is important. A lot of times when a youth is, let's just say 17 and a half, they're starting to make some decisions about what it is that they're going to do once they're done in foster care. And they typically want to get the heck out of Dodge. Am I right about that? Well, the reality is, it's not that easy when you're trying to do things on your own. Am I right about that, guys?
Correct.
So it is our job today to make sure that you have enough information so that you can make the best decision as it relates to when you turn 18 or as you're leading up to turning 18, that you know exactly what you're getting into. So let's just start with a couple of questions. Anyone on the panel, when you begin to age out, when you were, let's just say, between the ages of 14 and 16 years old, and as you knew that you're getting ready to go to that phase or that stage, now knowing what you know, you may have done something then, or it may have been something, man, I wish I would have realized that or did it when I was between the ages of 14 and 16. So if you're between the ages of 14 and 16, please listen up very carefully. Is there something that you would suggest that, yep, here we go.
My suggestion is definitely finishing school. Make sure you're going to school every day. Skipping, even like going to school and skipping class, like that doesn't count either. Like you gotta go there and actually get your education. Because I know right now it just seems really boring, or you want to go to school to hang out with friends and stuff. But once you hit that 17 and a half, and you don't have a high school diploma, or you're not close, and you turn 18 and you want to go get a job or want to start college, you can't do that because you messed around and didn't pay attention. And I mean, that's exactly what I did. And I had to hurry up and, you know, what's the word? I had to hurry up and like scrabble around and get it together before I turned 18 to get my high school diploma. And so I definitely say I wish I paid attention before.
But you're just 14 though.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Just like I understand you want to be a kid, but you got to think we're all in foster care, and you know our lives are definitely different from. And I know this sucks to say, but regular kids. You know, we're different. We all, our stories are all the same. We go through the same things, even though it seems different. And, you know, we just got to work hard for things. And even though it may suck because, you know, working hard now is really going to help our future. You mess up now, it's going to delay your future. You gotta be smart. Do you want to have a bunch of money? Do you want to have a diploma? You want to have a nice house, a nice job? You gotta stay on track, even if you're young, because you mess up now, as soon as you turn 18, there's no going back. Thank you.
Alrighty, so especially with transferring through multiple schools in that time, because I initially come from Pasco and obviously I'm all the way down here now, is I would definitely recommend, especially if you're at that age right now, to keep as many connections as you can. Because looking back on it now, I had this lovely teacher at St. Pete High School named Miss Kine. People know her. It's all good. You get what I'm saying. But she helped me all the way through getting up to 18, making sure that all my classes were taken care of. And then I've had my old adopted parents, old guardian items that are just no longer in contact. And those are the people you want to keep by your side as soon as you turn 18, because you never know where you're going to end up, and you never know going to know what you need. So I recommend just keeping those people.
Awesome, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. So y'all see my flinch, because we're trying not to mention names as much as possible, just to kind of keep it all neutral, and I was just reminding them, that's all. Anybody else want to speak to 14 to 16 years old, some feedback, anything? I don't want to.
So another main thing to consider is getting a job. It is very important to save up money when you are that age so that you can buy a car when aging out. One of the biggest issues kids face is not having a car when you turn 18. And it might not sound too bad at first, but when you can't get to college, when you can't get to your job, you have to Uber, you have to bike, it'll wear you down over time. And when you're that age, 14 to 16, if you start saving, you can get around 10 to 15,000 for a car over 4 years. I'd say that's very reasonable. Then you can get keys to independence to match you 3,000. I wouldn't recommend getting a cheap car if you don't have to, just because if you get something that's more money, you can get something nicer and that will be a lot more reliable.
Thank you, sir.
I want to piggyback off of what he said. Around 15, 16, I would recommend keys to independence, making sure you're going through the courses, all that good stuff, so that when you age out of foster care, go into EFC, and you graduated high school, because that's all our goal, to get our education. Maybe saving those funds that you get from financial aid to buy a nice car so you guys can be more independent.
Mhm. At the end of the day, independence is the name of the game. Like, that's serious, guys. Independence is what you're trying to go after. So now let's talk about let's take it up a notch to our 17 and a half. I asked a young adult that's not here, that desired to be here, but he had an appointment that he had to go to. I asked him, I said, what would you tell other youth that are getting ready to age out of foster care or hit that next transition? What would you tell them to do around that 17 and a half mark? So you got about 6 months remaining that you're gonna be staying in in whatever your setting is, and what would you do? And one of the things he said was, he would make a list. And as he made the list, he was looking at what he needed to do when. He said, and then I also, because some of the things he was saying that he did do, and other things was, I wish I would have done. He said, making the list helped him calm himself down, because it's a little stressful. When you're getting ready to age out, you're getting ready to hit that 18-year-old mark, there's a lot of thoughts that come through your head. There's a lot of reality that starts setting in. It's like, wait a minute. Oh, I have to do that now. I don't have someone else that's going to be doing certain things for me. And which is why these young adults that have already gone through and been where you are saying, at the age of 14 to 16, pay attention. I know that you want to play and skip and you think you have a whole lot of time, but every bit of time that you are in school or doing whatever you're doing, it matters. And so he also said, make the list, and then he said, start thinning out your stuff. If you have things that you want to throw away or you don't want to take with you, because you're going into a new phase of life. And so he said, you know what? I'm going to recommend that they start getting rid of the junk. Like the stuff you don't want anymore and you're starting to pack up, get rid of the junk. So anything that you all can add, 17 and a half, getting ready to age out, what would you either do differently or recommend that they do?
Am I allowed to name drop you at all?
Oh, I'm here.
Alrighty. So, especially for people that are aging out, one thing I would recommend for you is making sure all of your documents that you currently have are in your possession. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a slightly personal experience about this one. As soon as I turned 18 in the old group home I was in, obviously I didn't want to be in that home anymore and I really wanted to go out. And I had not done any research or anything prior before. I don't know if they still do any of like the Blue Book stuff with the files for the folders and everything like that for all the documents, but I signed myself out of foster care by accident without knowing what happened, and that Blue Book was thrown away or lost. So I had ended up almost going homeless multiple times before this lovely lady over here had saved me. And it was just a pain getting the birth certificates, the social security cards, everything like that. So I would highly advise, even for like the late 16-year-olds, make sure you have all your documents in place with possible copies.
Thank you for that. You want to speak to that? 17 and a half, what to do or what do you recommend? Or what did you do?
17 and a half, what I did, so I did make a list. I made sure, okay, so when you're 17, you're probably still in high school. So if you're still in high school, make sure you finish, or whatever type of degree you're going towards, make sure you finish. Apply for a college. I applied for cosmetology, though I did not finish. It was something to keep me stable and grounded. And that's where I got financial aid. I got my car. Like I said, I did not finish, but I had a EFC placement lined up. So I made sure I had an EFC placement lined up. But I had to advocate for myself. I didn't have a case manager on my back or the people at my group home helping me through it. I had to take that initiative. I had to reach out to Keys Independence to get my license. I had to make sure that I was in charge of my driving courses. I had to enroll myself into college. I had to do a lot of stuff. I had to find my first car by myself. I had to do a lot of stuff, though I had to support, And they tried to push the PES program on me when I was 18, but I didn't have any of the financial and budgeting skills that I had when I was 18 that I had now. So if they try to push that on you, because it's easier for them or because they think you're responsible or independent young adult, you tell them no if you feel like you're not ready. That money is there for you, but not for you to blow it and be irresponsible with it. It's for you so you can be stable and grounded. I had a child, and I didn't get into the PES program until I was 20. I had my baby at 21, and still, when I moved out of my EFC program, I was getting that money. I was getting that money, but I didn't have my own apartment. Thank God for Miss Jeannie, excuse me for name dropping, and the Opportunity Passport, because then I was in college and I was still in my EFC and I was learning how to budget my money. I was learning how to save for an apartment. I was learning how to pay my bills. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff, and I still was hopping place to place while I was pregnant. And then I ended up getting into my first apartment. But thank God for those resources, and I would say stay in EFC so you can have those resources. You don't want to be out on the streets, and sometimes, yeah, you want to go back to family and where you know you're loved, but sometimes that's not what's best for you. You just have to know what's best for yourself. Don't let friends in your ear telling you it's like this and it's like that, because it's not. That's their walk, but you want to make sure you're stable and secure, and I had to do that for myself. I am grateful for I don't know. That's what I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Alright, I'm just gonna drop it off, Rip. I know this is gonna sound redundant to a lot of people because you've been fed this since you were very, very young. But especially when it comes to aging out, the procrastination has to go out the window. Because especially with somebody like me, she can vouch, as soon as I aged out and went with her, I bummed out because I had so many problems with group homes, and during the school year, I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't even start my first job till I think I was about 19, and I almost didn't even qualify for the program at all. So fast forward a couple of years, and even now, I am probably going to be starting this next SBC school year in probably the spring, early winter, because of all the time that I've put off. And it really starts to show how much it could damage you, because obviously I'm 21, so I've got a lot of things that are ticking on my back right now, especially because I need to move over to PES. I don't have much time longer in EFC. So if you procrastinate, you could just throw a whole bunch of opportunities out the window.
Thank you for that.
Another thing I'm gonna add on for the 17 and a half is remember, stay out of trouble. You're about to be 18, you're gonna go to jail. Big boy jail. All this drinking, smoking, fighting, all that stuff, like doing it young, I really don't recommend it, you shouldn't be doing it. But after you're 18, doing all that, you're gonna go to big boy jail, and that's not gonna be fun. I've never went, but I don't think y'all wanna go either. Because we're not gonna get no slap on the wrist, stealing from stores, they're gonna send you home, whatever. No, you're gonna get cuffed, you're gonna go to jail. So just remember that. And also too, like when you're in your group homes and you're maybe a month out from leaving or two, contain your anger, don't fight nobody, stay to yourself, get what you need done, and just get up out of there. Because 1 5 minute of arguing and fighting with someone is gonna cost you pretty much your whole life. So just don't do it, stay to yourself, do what you need to do, and keep your nose clean.
Powerful. Thank you. You all give her a round of applause for that as well. You all have said some very powerful things, and I want to circle back around because you said something that struck a chord with me. When you get ready to age out or you age out of foster care, a lot of times what happens is the desire to want to reconnect with your family. Maybe friends and family that you may have not had the opportunity to be with or connect with, that happens, right? You want to reconnect, and that's a good thing sometimes. However, can somebody just say the word no with me? Say no. No. Why do I say no? Not no to connecting. No is an answer. A lot of times we want to please people and make people happy. So we say yes, or we lend ourselves and we put ourselves in situations that we really shouldn't. And we say yes to those people that we want to reconnect with, and we end up getting hurt in the long run. No is an answer, and it is okay if you use it. And I want you to empower yourself today to say no. Or to even be able to say, you know what, this isn't the best time for that for me. Because in reality, sometimes people mean well, but they don't realize that you need to take care of you right now. So I want you all to begin to say no. So let's say it again. No. Because it is an answer, and it's okay. And they're going to be disappointed. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna go ahead and add on top to what she said, and then maybe get into something deep a little bit later on after that. But one of the things that I had ended up dealing with when I was about 15, 16 in the foster care system was my old grandparents were trying to come and get me back, my old family. So I had bit the bullet instead of saying no to go visit them again, and it was at this time my sister had started living with my family at that time, and my aunt was the issue with that family in general. So it started getting really, really, really toxic to the point where my sister almost went homeless because of this aunt. And I kept going back and forth. My old guardian ad litem just kept telling me to just stop, but I didn't want my sister getting caught in the crossfire. So if I would have just stated no in the first place, I probably would have been able to save her. But it all spiraled out. And in that regard, can I go like heavily deep for a second? I don't know if I can.
Go for it. I'm not gonna.
Another thing I would say to the people between 14 and 18 is just don't give up. I've seen quite a few people take their life. I've seen quite a few people go through sexual assaults, everything in very varied range. and I've lost over a dozen people who are really, really close to me. And it's put a heavy mental strain on me as I've further gone along, and I've built up a heavy emotional wall. But you can't let it affect you in the short term. It's going to affect you in the long term, no matter which way you swing it, because losing somebody close to you is going to hit you no matter what. But say you're in gym class working on the final test exam for the SATs, and if you hear that maybe your grandfather got put in the hospital or something like that, you can't let that discourage you from the task at hand. You need to get things done, because your present dictates your future. You can't let your present dictate your future, if you know what I mean. So keep your head steady and keep moving on.
Thank you. Oh, I know what it was. I was commenting back on, you were making mention of connecting with family and things of that nature. So let's kind of go in another direction. Okay, we're good. When you're making decisions as young people, see, before, as you're in your placements now, the decisions you're making now, maybe you don't have the freedom to make as many decisions as you're going to have when you turn 18. There's not going to be someone there necessarily to set your alarm clocks for you, to wake you up. There's not going to be someone there to say, hey, make sure you make your dentist appointment. And then as time go on, you end up with a toothache because you didn't do those appointments that are important to have. I want to just encourage you that as you get ready to transition into that next phase of being a young adult, that you have someone like what these guys have said that's close to you to help walk you through those processes. If you've never made a doctor's appointment before on your own, try doing it now. Ask if, you know what, let me try doing this now while we're together, while I'm in this scenario. It'll be nerve-wracking. You may not know what to say, all the words, but that's when you have your people with you now so that they can help you be able to have those tough conversations. If you just don't know what to do, like you all have heard so much from so many people, I want to help you, I want to help you. Let me just tell you all something. When you come out of this circle of those that say they want to help you, the playing field is leveled. What do I mean by that? The adults that are out there in the world that are not a part of the system that has surrounded themselves around you, they don't care. They don't care about your past. And it's not that they don't care about you, it's that a lot of people, they're looking out for themselves. And so what I'm saying to you is, all of these different tables that are sitting out in the hallway, find out what they are talking about. As these adults are saying, I'm gonna make myself available to you, and I have these badges, find out what they're talking about. The one thing that every single one of these young adults said was to have your network. Have your people that can be able to help you when things are tough or when things are not tough. Because we have to get to a place where we learn not to wait until things are tough. You figure out how to do it now. You get ahead of it now. Am I right? The more you know ahead of time and put things in place, the easier it becomes, right? So utilize these services that are available, that's out there, that they're telling you from the what are some of them? Here, call them out. You all know them.
Ready for Life, Sunshine Health, Opportunity Passport, Maddie's Movement, Golden Generations, Foster Power.
We've got Lift as well, and Man Up and Go.
Let's give all of those a hand, please. There are so many more that we didn't name that's, did we say Hero to a Child?
That was said at the start.
Hero to a child, we obviously know because they're the ones that's putting us on. Let's give it up for them. So let's talk about something else. You shared with us that you were pregnant while you were in care and things of that nature. Can you tell us about any of the services that may be useful for someone else that might be here that may have not shared that's their scenario?
Okay. So I was in EFC going into PES when I was pregnant. EverHealth helped me with a lot of my resources. EverHealth, they refer you to, I can't think of it. But they refer you to different organizations that help you during your pregnancy, all the way up to maybe 5 years old, the child being 5. WIC, yes, WIC. Almost forgot about WIC. Food stamps, they give you cash assistance when you're 9 months pregnant. I can't say it.
That's good. Any adults in the audience that can help us with this particular question? Resources and things of that nature as it relate to, very good. Here we go.
I think where Avera Health may have referred you might be Healthy Start.
Yes.
Healthy Start is a good resource.
Very good. Anybody else have a resource that can help these young people if they need it? What was that? ELC, Early Learning Coalition. Head Start. These are resources for childcare. Plus.
House, Kimberly Home, those are places.
Wait, hold on.
Alpha House is a group home that is available for young folk who are pregnant or have babies, as well as Kimberly Home.
Any others that we're missing? Any other resources?
The Children's Home Network, well, it used to be CHI, but it's CHN now. It's a group home in Tampa. They have like a house for.
Very good. Now, okay, you then you.
Okay, CHN actually no longer takes pregnant girls or kids with babies, just so you're aware. Yes, I was there last year, so they're still doing good stuff. It's just sadly no longer pregnant women.
And which organization was that again? CHN.
I know Directions for Living can work with kids, especially kids with kids. They help with mental health and how to move along with things that might be bothering you, especially being a pregnant teenager. And they can also send you to resources that you might need with housing and with all that other stuff.
And Ready for Life has the program for parents.
And Ready for Life, who's here today, they also have a program for parents. So they have, I believe that they have a program for moms and they have a program for dads.
I missed your hand. Who has a hand? Come. And after this, I'm opening it up for you all to ask questions.
A resource I definitely recommend, no matter what county you live in or what state you live in, calling 211 is what it is for Florida, because sometimes you don't know who has funding, and then maybe a new provider or a new service that's come through the pipeline, and 211 knows those things. Like for some programs, like their mom that's pregnant, you may qualify for your RIT being paid for or your daycare being paid for. So sometimes calling that 211 number is a resource just to learn other resources, to learn how to connect with those two.
That's a good one that's not hard to try to remember. Did you have your hand up? No? Okay, so now I want to take this time to ask you all some questions. I'm not ask you all some questions, have you all ask some questions. Anybody have any questions out here that they'd like to pose to the panel or any of the adults or resources that are in the building?
Not for the panel or any of you, but I heard about Lyft CDC, which is you, I believe, and I would like to know what you guys do.
So my organization provide housing, point blank, and then mentors and things of that nature to help you all get the resources that you need. And everyone in here, basically, we just connect with all of the different resources that are here and try to get you on your feet. We want you to have independence and all that good stuff, but basically, my housing is set up like collegiate style living. So it's not a group home, it's collegiate style living. The expectation or the mindset that you come into is you're coming in to better yourself. I have a thing that I say, it's called stash the cash. I say stash the cash because as you are in our housing program, you will have an opportunity to get money from different resources, you'll have funding, etc. And I say to you, take this time, use this resource, and stash your cash. Save your money so that you can do the things that these young people are doing. We'll try to help you get set up with, even after you're done with EFC, with whatever housing direction that you want. So our goal is to help you get to your next reality, and whatever that might look like. Yes, I do take EFC and PES and aftercare young people. Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to share, if you're not aware of Feeding the Fosters, they're a great organization. They can provide you food each week. They're great at giving you gift cards if you need gas cards. They're mostly on the Pinella side, but if you need a connection to them, my name's Effie with Maddie's Movement, but they're a really great resource.
Anybody else? Questions, comments? Can I just say, how do you all wear Nikes? Like, I can't do this. I just can't do it. I'm done. Who else? Okay. Like, that's my first pair of Nikes, and I think it's my last.
My question was, is there anybody here or any organizations that teach financial literacy to these children?
Okay,
Hi, my name is Jeannie. I'm with Suncoast Voices for Children. We have the Opportunity Passport program. It is a financial literacy training, financial coaching, and savings match program. I should look at you. We do general financial training, and after you take the program, you're eligible to match dollar for dollar up to $3,000 to purchase an asset like a car or get into a new apartment.
And she'll be doing a workshop in the next breakout.
Did you hear that? We're doing a workshop in the next breakout, and you're going to be that person. Whoop, whoop. So let me say this as it relates to Lyft. I'm coming over there. So Lyft is one of many providers that are connected to EFC, and EFC will give you information as it relates to housing and things of that nature. One of the things that I must say about Lyft, sometimes if I don't know what the need is, I can't open up the next home for placement. So when you all need to communicate what your desires are, make known your request. You know, I don't have right now any female homes, but it's coming. But I do have some male homes right now, and just a FYI. But EFC, connect with them, and I'll give you a way to contact me as well. So you can always know, hey, do you have any collegiate housing available, okay? And I say collegiate style housing, that doesn't mean that you have to be in college, because guess what? Life is college.
So a question for the panel for each person. What is something from your years through foster care that you wish, with what you know now, can change, that can better everyone else that's in the room right now?
I love it. Who take it?
Okay, so when I was in the PES program, I was living my lifestyle, was blowing all my money. So when you get in PES, You have to work, you have to go to school 9 credit hours, but I recommend 12, and get you a part-time job. Yes, you have to pay bills, but I would say people do it all the time. Work full-time and take your classes and save up your PES money. That's what I did not do that I wish I had done, but it's okay.
Stash your cash.
All right. So, with me, it would be something that me and Ms. LaQuanda have found out just recently, is taking advantage of the things you currently have in regards such as Sunshine Health. So, apparently, I never even knew this, they give you free YMCA memberships, you get free medical, like, transportation and stuff like that. I didn't even know stuff about this until like a month ago. So I would definitely just go ahead and research what you have and what benefits you can get out from it.
Who else want to respond to this question? All right, hearing none. So questions from the audience. This is so much better than the Nikes.
And maybe this is what you were asking, but it dawned on me. What is something you would like to see changed within the system itself? If you could change something about how the system was run, or something that you felt like stood in your way, what is something that you would like to see changed for those that are following behind you?
And secondary to that, you all have the opportunity.
Secondary to that, you all have the opportunity to answer this question. For any of you who are young people, there is a survey in your, a piece of paper that's a survey one, that's anonymous. On that survey, you can tell us what you think about the system and what you'd like to see changed. We will be sharing that with all of the providers that are here today, but that's your opportunity to do that in a safe and confidential manner. We know that the people who have the ideas for how things can be better and how things can be more effective are you. So please do feel free to take advantage of putting that in, but now let's hear the answers from the panel.
All right, so confidentiality out the window. So one thing I definitely would like to see changed is throughout the years, I can name drop homes I've been in, right? Alrighty, so I've been in Joshua House, Lakeview Boys Home, with both, I'm not going to say those names, and between those two, you can heavily see a difference between the actual quality of housing and the people who work there. One of the things I would have definitely liked to have seen was a direct way to speak on what you wanted and what you wanted to have seen changed at that time. Because I went through all of those homes noticing so many things wrong with the staffing, with the way funds were being used for different types of things instead of like what the kids actually needed. There was lots of good things and lots of corruption in the same time. So, like, such as I had a case manager a long while ago who never did anything for me at all, no matter what I vouched for, and he obviously got fired. And the next one was the same way. So it took case manager after case manager after case manager to finally get something that I needed done, which was at that time getting my birth certificate, which was then lost anyway, so it didn't even matter. And it's just, there's no true way to speak directly to like the big people about issues that are currently ongoing. What she said, yeah, you can go through and like get like direct like the people here, like see what they want, but I'm speaking like possible judicial level. Because like I've said before in my personal rant, I've seen a lot of things, and there was a lot of things that were not taken care of. So if there is ever a way to give a direct say for what kids need and or I don't even think a want would be necessary. I would definitely say need, because there was a lot of things that I specifically needed when I was going through homes.
Thank you so much. Someone else?
One change that I do wish to see within foster care is definitely the adults that come in looking for jobs as caseworkers, group home managers. that they come in claiming that they actually care for us and care for the kids, but really they're just there for a check. They're not there to actually care about us. They don't want us to actually, you know, have a good future. And I'm not putting this all towards all the caseworkers and staff, but with my time in foster care, like what he said, having caseworker after caseworker after caseworker, it's like they don't do anything to help us. They don't advocate for us like how we need them to. And that's why when we get lucky, when we have certain guardian ad litems, or we get lucky with certain caseworkers, it's just, you know, like it affects us kids because we don't have our parents to rely on. And then we have these adults that come in saying, oh, we're gonna do this for you, we're gonna do that for you. And then realistically, they kind of just screw us over. And we all know they're getting paid. So it's just like, in the way with our living arrangements and these group homes, name dropping with Brookwood, like it's not fair how we are treated, and the staff get to just sit around, enjoy, get paid, cuss at us, put their hands on us, and then the moment that we want to rebel, or you know, we run away and we do certain things, it's like it's our fault. And I really hope to see that we get better adults that come into our system, because the system is us. We're the kids, and we kind of run it. And when it comes to the adults coming in and trying to put all these restrictions and stuff on us, and telling us we can't do this, we can't do that, and then blame us for rebelling, it causes our trauma. It causes a lot of issues for us. And so I think the adults do play a really big key part, and they need to do better when it comes to trying to take care of us and advocate for us. So yes, please, everyone, adults, please take notes, because us as kids, we love you guys, but it's hard to love you guys when you're gonna sit here and say one thing and the next thing. But I do believe there are good caseworkers out there, good gals. I got a good gal of my own. And I just hope that you guys just aren't in it for the money, and that you actually care about us kids. Because some of us kids actually care about you guys, you know? But thank you.
Somebody else question over there?
I'll come to you just a second.
Yeah, there's a question over there in the corner.
I'm just gonna elaborate further on, because she just elaborated further on what I had said. It's just, there is obviously, with how many places I've been through, how many places I've bounced around, I've seen very, very good people. And I've seen very, very bad people. Let's see. The last place that I was at before I had aged out, the staff there would be fights going on practically 24/7 without intervention. And I think I was almost hospitalized once, not even being involved in it, because they just get everybody involved and the staff just do nothing. And the house before that I was in was the complete opposite. Like, we had these staff that just really, really liked talking with the kids, taking them out, doing everything, making sure they were safe and everything, going straight to staff that were, as she just said, just in it for the money. And it's night and day.
So there's some good help out there, and then there's some that we need to get fixed, what I'm hearing. We have a question out in the audience. Thank you so much for your feedback.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what they said. Like, I grew up in the system. I'm a child advocate manager, and I always tell my kids, I get it from their end, but for me, it's life. It's not a 9 to 5. It's you guys' life. So I treat it as if such that you guys can call me anytime. When I talk to my kids, I let you know you gotta call your case manager sometime. They be like, well, they're not gonna answer right now, so that's why I'm calling you. So I get it. So my thing is, if we can have better communication, even if case management have the on-call number, nobody answers. So they call guardian ad litem a lot of times because nobody answers that number. And being a child advocate manager, I'm gonna advocate for my kids no matter what time it is. They can call me. If they're running away, they know they can call me. Or if I say, don't argue with them. I'd rather for you to take your anger out, like, talk to me. And they call me, so that way they don't get in fights with other kids. That way they don't take it out and get kicked out. So they call me, whatever it is, because it's not just a 9 to 5. And my kids know it's not just 9 to 5. They can talk to me anytime. They can, whatever it is, if you need me to pick you up, I'm gonna pick you up if case management can't answer. A lot of times case management don't answer. So we can get something just more definite, and the kids can trust case management along with guardian ad litem, and we can work together with our kids. I think it'll be a better system, because I think that's where sometimes the bond stops, where the kids don't trust case management because they don't answer. Because for them, it does seem like a 9 to 5 if they can't answer. Like I said, kids stop, the lights don't stop at 5 o'clock. But for case management work, it's done at 5 o'clock. And I think that's the issue with the kids. And I think if we can have somebody that can answer on call for real, then I think there would be a better trust and a better bridge with the kids, case management, and guardian ad litem. Because we can't even get a hold of case management sometimes when we have issues. Or when even the on-call number, I don't even call it because I wait till the next day because I know they don't answer. And I try to fix the problem myself, my supervisor, a lot of times because it's hard to get a hold of us and we're supposed to work as a team. And I think it's hard for the kids to see that we're working as a team when I don't even know what case management doing some time. They don't know we're doing some time. There's no emails going and the kids see that. So I think if we, case management and guardian ad litem and other important like staff, if they can't say they work getting along, we're working together, it's hard for them to even know who to go to sometimes. So if we can just build the communication amongst us so the kids can see, I think that'll help.
I'm gonna piggyback off that. I do kind of the same thing. I mean, I leave my phone on usually till 6:30, 7 o'clock, just in case my kids need anything. But I also, and this is not in the state of Florida, I come from Michigan, but I worked in residential homes for 5 years and I understand what they're saying because I was one of the only staff that actually cared. I ran art groups in every single residential that I worked in. Well, everybody else sat on their phone. I worked in locked residentials with like low functioning kids and I don't get any help and it's like these kids are supposed to be one-on-one. So I definitely agree with you. There is definitely some good group homes out there, but there is a high turnover rate too for that. But I will 100% agree with you guys on that because I have worked in the homes. So thank you for sharing that.
So I want to share a little bit about something I definitely think needs to be changed. So we get called in as runaways all the time. And the biggest problem that I've seen is I'm 17 and a half, I'll be 18 January 6th. And when I turned 16, I was told I was supposed to get normalcy. I have had one day since I've become 16 that I've had normalcy. And I run away because I just want to see my friends. I just want to talk to people I care about. Maybe go to the beach. But I get called in as a runaway and picked up by police like I'm some criminal. But all I am is a kid who just wants to have friends. There's nothing we can do. At my group home, we're not even allowed to sign ourselves out. We have to have an adult sign us out. And it's not like all adults want, and most of the time, the adults that sign us out aren't allowed to drop us at a friend's house without the friends getting background checks and all this other stuff. And we're teenagers. We live for social life. That's what we're about. And I mean, I've seen friends here that I haven't seen in a year. And I'm finally just catching up. And it's like, we don't get to be kids. But we're kids, guys. If I was at home, I would be like, Mom, can I go to my friend's house? She would drop me off there. But we can't even go see our friends. We can't even hang out with the kids we hang out at school. A lot of the times it's even hard for group homes to do extracurricular activities for us. Like I wanted to go into theater club, but I was a night-to-night system and they were like, there's absolutely no way we'll pick you up from that. So I think that's really important.
Someone else?
Right there.
Oh, sorry. This has to be the last question.
Okay.
Honestly, to just add on to what you were saying, the people here tend not to do their jobs unless it's the bare minimum. Y'all tend to, and I don't mean all of you, some of you will tend to come here, get this job, do the bare minimum to get the money that you are owed, and then you just kind of dip out on us. Like I've had 3 case managers here and I've been here since April. Like I have not been here long. And y'all tend to just kind of give up as soon as things get hard. Y'all tend to just get the money, do the bare minimum. But when we need you guys to do things, y'all tell us to advocate for ourselves, we do, and then you don't do it. So we're sitting here and we're having to be adults at 16, 17 years old, and we were told that we are meant to act like children. We are meant to be kids, but y'all make us do these things that we shouldn't have to be doing. It's your job to do. and y'all are just doing bare minimum for a paycheck. And like I said, it's not all of y'all. I have a great gal, guys. She's amazing. I have a pretty good case manager now, but just like with the system, I wish some of you would actually do more than just what your job says you gotta do, because it's for us. It's not for your check. It's not for your wallet. It's for us.
Thank you all so much for such passionate feedback. Let's just give everybody a round of applause. You finally got something to have to say. I got one that's stretching his arm. I got to give him the mic. No, I got to give you the mic. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to hold on one more again. Hold on. I'm gonna shorten my ending just so that you can talk.
Everybody else who spoke before me said really important things. And honestly, being the last person to say something is you know, I don't got much important to say. But to keep it quickly, a lot of the kids around me, and as I'm getting older and just observing more, we don't get a lot of praise, you know? As soon as I slip up, it's very known, it's very seen, it's put on paper, you slipped up this date, this is here, this is when I wrote you up. But the days when everything in the house goes wild, people are kicking down doors, people are running away, kids are jumping each other, and I'm sitting here doing fine. You know, I like that. People are like, hey, you know, I'm you know, you're being calm, and I appreciate that. But a little more, like, good job, a little more of a pat on the back really goes a long way. More rewarding, less punishment really helps.
Yep. Thank you. That's very powerful feedback. Thank you so much. And if I can just say just this one thing to you all that are helping in the system and those that are in part of this whole process, we all know that there's good and bad, right? That's going to be in this room. That's going to be out there in the community. No matter where you go, there's going to be some good and some bad, right? But for those that are willing to assist you for real and to help you for real, take advantage of those opportunities, guys. Those that you do make those connections with that will be there for you, hold on to those connections and ride them all the way out, okay? I'm gonna turn the mic over. One moment.
So hi everybody. So my name is Marcus Zampier. I'm the Independent Living Supervisor with FSS. And the reason why I asked that question in particular is that I'm actually over what we call the Youth Empowerment Board. The Youth Empowerment Board for Pasco and Pinellas County is working with teens and young adults between the ages of 14 to 23. And our goal and our purpose and our focus is to advocate about these rights. So you're saying you want to have normalcy? Okay, how do we go to legislation in Tallahassee to talk about how do we get more normalcy for providers, for group homes, so they can be able to get a sense of that in writing so you can be able to have that more. If they're thinking about support for post-18, for moms or young adults who are going through pregnancy, how do we get these items into law so that we can be able to advocate for you? And also to go back to the point about you guys being kids, we went to launch in Countryside Mall this past month where we had a meeting there. We provide food and drinks. We talk about different assessments or different things. We focused on mental health this past time. We talked about YMCA memberships and what locations have YMCA memberships and where you can go to for your insurance. And then we also had a provider come in and did sound healing. So people had an idea of like, what does that sound like to work through coping skills and work through anger. So each month we have a different activity. We have a different focus. This month we're focusing on entrepreneurship, jobs, job coaching, and resumes. We're gonna have some local businesses coming in to talk about jobs and who's hiring. So if you are interested in wanting to come to our Youth Empowerment Board, we highly encourage you to come so that we also can build a board similar to the panel, to where we can go to Tallahassee and colleges and do college tours and go to different places. Sail Future CEO is willing to take some of us on a sunset cruise on one of their boats to like have experience. So they're really trying to find ways for you all to be kids, but also get to live life and advocate in a way that suits you in the way that you see it.
How do the kids know about this?
So we talked about communication issues with case management. So I'm gonna find a way to, with the GAL program, I started sending the flyer over to them. So I sent it to every director. I sent it to licensing directors, case management directors, contracts directors, I send it to everyone at the big side. I go to our partners and say, hey partners, here's also the flyer for them. So we e-post it everywhere. It's also on our FSS, should be on Facebook. We're also posting a flyer so that we can get RSVP, because we've had 30 people one month, we had 20 next month. One provider who wasn't there this past month, she's like, oh, by the way, I got 24 new kids I'm bringing next month. And I'm like, that's not 50 people coming to meetings. So we really want to get this big so that we can be able to, it's not for us, it honestly is for the youth to be able to come to talk and to empower yourselves, but at the same time, have food and drink. So my rule is this, just like this meeting, if you're fed and you're not thirsty, you can listen to me because you won't be hungry or thirsty. The next meeting is August 27th from 5 to 7 at Ready for Life. It's gonna be our next meeting. And if you need the flyer, I can make sure that someone in this room can be able to make sure you get this flyer, because yes, we have a flyer for the QR code to RSVP.
I just wanted to tell you, you guys are blowing Eckerd out of the water. Keep it up.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that.
Well, this concludes this part of our session. Thank you all so much for all of your feedback, everything that you all have been able to give to us. I know that some people had asked about my contact information. I did not set up a table, I'm sorry. But let me just give you a quick phone number that you can call. It's 1-833-LIFT-CDC. 1-833-LIFT-CDC, and that's lift like the real word lift, L-I-F-T, because you all were asking me about housing and things of that nature. And so depending on what the need is, that's what I kind of cater to. If I don't know what the need is, then I can't do anything about it, okay? Alrighty, and you can always reach out to Hero to a Child, and they'll be able to reach me. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we're going to transition to